Hey, welcome back everybody. Today we're going to be doing day 9 of our Mirthwood guide and walkthrough. I'm currently experiencing a bit of an economic crunch. I need 2,000 gold in order to buy the steel toolkit so I can go ahead and upgrade my iron pickaxe to a steel one. And I want to do this as quickly as possible because the next parts of our walkthrough you're going to see the areas we're going to be visiting. It's going to be really beneficial for me to have that steel pickaxe already. So what I decided to do is I decided to go out and do some collecting of items, hunting of some animals, because when I'm hunting and I'm fighting deer and I'm finding rabbits, their meat actually sells for good 35 gold, so I can collect that easily. I'm also going to go fishing, but first I'm going to visit a cave, and so this little cave is right by my to the northeast of my farm. I'm going to visit this cave, and please remember the location of this cave because we're coming back in a later episode. So I'm going to save before I head in. And this cave is not a very difficult cave, but I know that this cave contains a couple of things that could benefit me in terms of my economy. So I need money. I could be farming, I guess, but to me this is a lot more fun just exploring. So take this little right-hand path and you can find some loot, and there's typically some nice amount of gold in there that we can grab. Follow the cave to its very end, and you're going to find an unfortunate fellow with a chest and a letter, and you can go ahead and do that, and you'll find gem nodes and gold nodes and iron stone and all that stuff around here. You can't mine it just yet, that's why I told you to remember the location, but we can sell the items that we find in here for at least another chunk of change well on our way to the 2,000 that we need. Alright, so we're going to go ahead back outside, then we're going to go back to our farm just to get our stuff situated, drop off whatever we need to drop off, and then we're going to take off to the campsite by the lake. The reason I'm going there is because the fishing spot's really easy and it's close by, and I can just stay there and just fish to my heart's content. And that's what I did. I cut the video because I don't want you just watching me fishing, but I did at least record the first fishing experience. So if you have not fished yet, that is perfectly fine. The fishing rod, you can buy it at Northdale Farm, the pokey stick, and there's only one fishing rod in the game, and so whenever you see those little ripples in the water, that's where you can fish. An exclamation point pops up, and then you're supposed to keep the mouse within the green areas as much as you can as the purple meter fills up. When the purple meter fills up to the top, you're done. That circle that closes in on your cursor, if you click on your mouse when it's at its greenest point, you're going to pick up the fish. You're going to expand your purple meter to the top quicker, so that's really good. From the lake campsite, I went around into the east, just a little bit, and then a little bit north. And this is Anya's Rest. We hadn't visited this place just yet, but we're going to do so now. And the reason we're going to do so now is we're going to pick up the Spriggan charm. I can't craft that just yet because Spriggans are kind of hard to defeat, but it's good to pick up right now, and it's good to pick up a feather, and it's just good to unlock this place for future content because we're already here. This is right next to the lakeside campsite. And on my way out, I went ahead and fished a little more. So having grabbed my fill of fish, I said, okay, well, what's next? I still need the money. I still need to sell things. What else can I sell? Well, it turns out that I can sell trout, and I mentioned this in the previous episode. If you haven't been using your trout and you've been going around town, eating whatever you find along the way in your travels, then you should have plenty of trout still left over. I hope you do anyway. I had a considerable amount. I think I had like 10 or 11 of them stored away, and so I realized that each trout sells for 30. Here's a Spriggan charm. I want to show you that before I get into the math. So the Spriggan charm gives you 10% defense against enemies. If you're going melee, that might be nice. For bow, it doesn't really matter. You got to get good at dodging. So I realized I had almost enough gold to go buy the steel toolkit. I sold the cave dweller's hood, everything that I found in that cave. I sold all the copper that I had made already because I don't need copper, so I just sell that off. I went over and I sold all of my fried trout. So my fried trout netted me, there's 30 of them. I sold everything that I had on me, which was a pretty good chunk of change. and that got me almost to where I needed to be, and I sold all the peas that I had collected, etc, etc, etc. So then I realized that I was still short a little bit less than 100 gold, so I said, okay, well, how do we make 100 gold? Two ways. One, I could continue to gather things and sell them, but that's just like 5 gold, 6 gold, and that takes forever. But we have a contract that's open at the moment for the Siltlurker Stalker. So we're going to go and do that. But before we do that, I realized I had enough feathers in my inventory to expand either a skill slot or an inventory slot. Once again, I cannot tell you what to do anymore in terms of suggestions. Whatever works best for you. Personally, I keep expanding my skill slots. I don't expand my inventory slots. I don't feel like I need them. And if I need to get rid of something, I can always just drop wood or stone if I have it on me. If I need more materials, I don't have an issue with food, as you can see. So instead of expanding my inventory, I'd rather do a skill slot expansion. Why? Because I'm at the point of the game where I've unlocked quite a number of skill cards now, so I can make use of them, equip for in the time if I need to. And I need to at this point, especially because as I'm getting later on into the ones where you can get more ore, you can get more gems, all those things become really important in the late game because they can accelerate a little bit more of my economy. In this case, I went ahead and equipped excavator because I'm heading out to the marsh, so I'm going to run into iron. I might as well mine what I find. So from Fernfoots, I'm going to go directly south. I highlighted the quest, and so it gives me a big yellow area where the Siltlurker is that I need to destroy. Freaking hate rats, man. Their hitboxes are so weird. So the Siltlurker is just a golden version, a golden name Siltlurker, and its main difference is that it's tankier. So it takes more hits, but just as easily as kiteable as the other ones. So the enemies being kiteable it's kind of a thing, right? Like, that's the whole purpose of the game. I don't understand. I've seen some reviews, people going, oh, the game's too easy, and some people saying game's too hard. And I say, well, that just means the game's just right. It's easy for some people, hard for some, so then there's a nice place in the middle. I played Breath of the Wild and all those other RPG exploration games, and the combat was easy. It's not hard at all, you know. If you're looking for Elden Ring, then I guess go play Elden Ring. But this game, the combat's not supposed to be Souls-like. Anyway, I run into the Siltlurker Stalker, and you can see I did show you the whole fight, if I'm not mistaken. All I have to do is kite him one way. Remember, shift is a toggle, so if I press shift, I'm always running. So I just run one way, and when I see that he's catching up to me, I roll past him. And when I roll past him, I just run the other way and keep shooting him. You might say, well, then what do I need the recurve bow for then? Well, if I was using the crude bow, this would take 3-4 times as long to do, and one, that's just boring, and two, it just gives them more opportunities for me to be able to get walloped, and I don't want to do that. So that gave me gold, and that gave me enough gold to go ahead and purchase the steel toolkit. So I'm going to make my way back to Bright Oak and to the blacksmith. Now you might be wondering why the heck I'm stopping by and picking up all the iron that I'm seeing and all this other stuff on the floor. Well, because you still need iron. You still need iron to make steel, and you still need steel to make better armor. And I have not been making better armor, but I am going to in the later parts of this game. I don't think I'm going to need it, but it's always nice to have it. But as far as tools are concerned, I'm done. After I go ahead and craft this steel pickaxe, I am done. I could craft the silver, I could craft the gold, because those tools give you more resources when you farm them. So there is a benefit to making them. But again, they cost money, and the toolkits are expensive, and I don't need them to progress in the main story, and this walkthrough is more for the main story and finishing all the quests. But if you're going to spend your time in the freelance, building things and all that kind of stuff, then yeah, go ahead and keep upgrading your tools. For me, I'm done. This is it. So I went ahead and sold a little bit of my bread chunks. I didn't really care for them. They sell for a lot, by the way. And so I went to go purchase my steel toolkit for 2,000 gold, and I am now broke. But again, I don't mind. This is the last that I need the gold for. This is the last toolkit I'm going to buy for a while. So after this toolkit, my next big expense will be buying the warbow diagram and making that warbow. And then I'm going to be making some more pieces of armor. But for now, this is it. Like, I've got the steel pickaxe. And with the steel pickaxe in hand, now we can farm silver stone. So silver bars sell for quite a lot of money. And that's really great because silver bars doesn't require charcoal like the steel ones did. It just requires me to mine silver ore. And silver ore is all over the place if you know where to look. The other thing about the steel pickaxe is that now I'm able to mine gems. And gems are crazy. They sell for quite a bit of money, and you can collect them really easily because they always grow in mines. And they respawn after a while. But the reason why we've been doing this walkthrough the way we have is now we're in the foothills, and now we have a steel pickaxe. And that's a silver node right there, right close to my camp. So we're going to go and mine some silver that we find here in the foothills, but our purpose is to head on over to this area to pick up the standing stones. So we got ourselves our next skill card, and it's to better your elixir potency. So if you're saying, oh, well, that's kind of a weird thing. Well, not really, because if we increase our potency, then we'll be able to tank more and regenerate more health. So now what I wanted to show you was this little path that's very interesting that gets you another trinket. But first, you remember the Winter's Vale winery, right? So in this area, look at the mini-map. In this area, you find a note to Godfrey. Godfrey's a cheater. And you pick up his gold, too, that he had dropped at one point or another. So Godfrey... he's distracted. Yeah, of course he's distracted. He's getting some on the side, so what an ass. After we do this thing with Godfrey, and this area is right by where our camp is. So to the left is our camp. So I went through our camp to the very right-hand side of it on the old forest, and I can access this area to pick up that feather. So I just wanted to show you really quickly where you could get that. So now we're going to go to another area it's like a little maze. So we've explored most of the blue meadows and the starting area of the forest and that kind of stuff, but there's still things to do. There's we have to go to the foothills and explore that, and we're gonna go to some areas in the old forest we haven't touched upon yet that we could have touched upon earlier, but it's fine that we go now. It doesn't matter. So for the next part of our adventure, we're going to go up to the foothills, and we're going to go into a little maze, and I just wanted to show you the maze because I think it's kind of neat. If you're not looking out for it, you don't know where to go, you won't find it. So you follow the path down, and once you follow the path south, past this area, you're going to see a little entrance. And you go into the little entrance and you go to the right, and you're going to find nothing. You're going to say, well, what the heck was going on? Well, because now you have an iron pickaxe, or a steel pickaxe. In this case, you're able to go through this particular boulder, and going through this boulder and following the path to the very end, well, you have to fight a couple of stupid rats, but then the other thing you find is a poor, unfortunate soul at the very end of it. So keep going to the right, don't go to the left, go to the right, always. If you hit a dead end, loop around, keep going to the right. Because when you get to the right, you see here it's a dead end, technically. I got a silver ore, but then here again I go to the right, and then I go to the right again, and then I finally reach an area right below that. I finally reach an area where we have the poor unfortunate soul. So I fight off a couple of rats, and then I'm able to find him, and he's like, oh my god, what happened to him? So you find out that the person was exploring kind of like we were, but then the boulder fell behind them, and now they can't get out. So you pick up a fabled feather, which is great. See, rip that guy. But the important thing here is also he has a lucky rabbit's foot and a steel bar for you to grab. So a lucky rabbit's foot raises the luck, so the amount of what items you get in the chests and the random things around the world, they're available for you to grab. And that's about it. We're gonna get out of here the same way we came back in, and then we're gonna go north from the entrance to that maze. We're gonna find this guy, go into his house, and read a letter. The letter says, "The mine is dangerous. Moria is dangerous." So we're pretty much going to end the walk this episode here. You're going to go north from his house, and you're going to reach an area where you can mine some iron, and you can mine some silver, and you can fight a couple of wolves. Sometimes there's a bear. But the Irondelve Mine, which is I jokingly call Moria, is here now. And we're not going to go into Irondelve this episode. It's actually going to be our next episode. So get ready for that. It's a fun little mine, and once you go in, you're going to see why it was so important for us to come with the steel pickaxe as we ventured inside. Alright, so the schedule's going to change a little bit. I'll have one more episode on Monday, another one on Tuesday, but probably not post from Wednesday through Sunday because Thanksgiving and I'm going to be traveling. So thanks so much for watching. Have a good one.